Saving money is a huge goal for many people, and rightfully so. We all grind hard so we can pay our bills on time to build that credit score and down payment so we can buy that dream house with the white picket fence and giant oak tree on the corner of Sycamore and Acacia. And because of that grind and smashing that like button to tell YouTube to show this content to more people, you earn that sold sign in the front yard for a mere $500K. And because you're a good resident and done all your homework, you put 20% down, avoiding that PMI, making your mortgage of $400,000. You have that perfect credit score already. You earned that 4% interest rate with minimal closing costs on your 30-year mortgage. But even still, that means you'll be paying $287,698 in interest. And that's only if you don't refinance or take a home equity line of credit. Now you're probably sitting there saying, MJ, $287,000? I could buy a whole nother house with that. And I would absolutely tell you are 100% correct. However, that is the price of doing business. You don't have the money to buy this house cash, so you're gonna have to borrow the money and you're gonna have to pay to be borrowing that money. So I think it's fair to say that we all have a basic understanding of how a mortgage works, but let's look at the amortization chart so we have a little bit deeper understanding of actually how this breaks down over the course of the life of the loan. So as you can see here, we have a mortgage of $500,000 with the 20% down at $100,000 there on a 30-year mortgage at 4% interest rate. That makes your payment $1,909. As you can see on the chart there, that is actually the chart of the amortization breakdown. Just so you have an understanding of what this chart is showing you, the blue area is the amount of the principal, so how much is actually owed on the mortgage itself. And then the pink area, that's going to be the interest paid over time. And then the green area is going to be the principal paid over time. Now let's take a look at the actual chart itself. Now, as we can see on the amortization chart, you are actually paying all this interest straight up front. Right here on this very first payment on our example, you're paying $1,333 in interest alone, and only $575 of that is going to your principal. That's why the balance of the mortgage doesn't go down that quickly. That leads to the next question. How can we pay this down quicker? And that's going to be the meat and potatoes of this video. So let's get started. Now with this first example, there's absolutely nothing groundbreaking here, and I bet you can guess exactly what it's going to be. It's simply throw more money at the mortgage. Of course, that makes sense. Let's just give the example on our dream home on the corner of Sycamore and Acacia. The mortgage is $400,000. Let's say the very next month we come into some money through some inheritance, or we cash out a really nice stock that we did well on. And let's say we throw $25,000 into the mortgage the very next month. Now this will save you $52,017 over the life of the loan, and you'll pay it off 3 years, 4 months faster by simply putting this money towards it. Now in this second example, I want to show you exactly why it's so important to do this sooner than later. We'll still use the $25,000 that we got 5 years later. You'll save $39,022 and you'll pay off the loan 2 years and 9 months faster. That's absolutely fantastic still, but you're losing out on $12,995 in interest paid over the life of the loan. So it is important to try to get this money into your principal as quickly as possible. Otherwise, it's just going to be sitting there accruing more interest. Now you're probably saying, MJ, I don't have $25,000 just coming in like that. What else can I do? Well, you could do bi-weekly payments. Now, basically how this works is you make a payment every other week and it'll be half the amount of the mortgage payment. So there's 52 weeks in a year, right? Which would make 26 weeks that you'd be making a payment. Well, guess what? That amounts to 13 payments over 1 year. So you're making an additional payment over the course of the year. In our example, the mortgage payment is $910, making the bi-weekly payment $955, and you'll have to be paying that every couple weeks. The downside to this is you do have to have that money every 2 weeks, and it needs to be ready to go. You can't typically go backwards on this. If your mortgage servicing company allows you to do bi-weekly payments, you could be saving $45,106 in interest paid over the life of the loan, and you could pay it off 4 years and 1 month earlier. But guess what? There's an easier way to do this, and it basically turns out the exact same over the course of the loan. So what we're going to do is that we're going to take the amount of our mortgage payment every single month and divide it by 12. So $1910 divided by 12 is roughly $159. And what we're going to do here is make our mortgage payment, but we're going to add $159 onto that to go to the principal. And in this example, we're going to save $44,538 over the life of the loan, and we're going to pay it off 4 years and 1 month early again. But it won't have the downfall default of bi-weekly payments where you have to have that money every 2 weeks. You can still keep your monthly schedule. My next tip would be don't refinance if it doesn't make sense. Now, sometimes it does make sense to refinance, but let me make a case here for not refinancing. First off is flexibility to your loan. I really want to emphasize the beginning of COVID here and what happened to a lot of people. With that flexibility, I personally went from doing bi-weekly payments on my 30-year mortgage back to one payment a month. My servicer allows me to do that, which is great. And I was able to make my payments all through COVID, no problem, because I was able to have that flexibility and keep my payments low where I want them. If I would have refinanced at some point to a 15-year mortgage, and instead of having a $1,400 a month mortgage, and I would have had $2,100 a month, there's no way I wouldn't have made it. And my point is having that flexibility and keeping your money working for you in the best manner you see fit. You can always make more payments as you want towards your principal, and having that control can be a complete game changer. And for my second point, let me pull up the amortization schedule again. Look how front-loaded in interest this is. Look how much you are paying in interest over the principal. Now, over time, you are paying less interest, but you're paying more towards the principal. So if you refinance, all you're doing is going backwards in your mortgage because you're probably going to refinance to a 30-year mortgage again, and you're just going to be paying interest and interest and interest. This is exactly where the bank wants you to be. This is where they're making the most money. If you continue to make your payments over time, you're going to be paying more and more and more to the principal every single month that you make a payment. This is why it's so important. Do not refinance so early in the loan. I understand, like if it makes sense to refinance down to a better interest rate, go ahead, do it. It makes sense. You can still make up that difference. And moreover to this topic, when you refinance, you're going to be paying closing cost fees to the bank to be able to do this refinance, which is going to get tacked into the loan, and you're just going to be paying even more interest on that. So at the end of the day, take a very close look at what you're doing when you're considering a refinance and decide what's appropriate. Now, in the fifth hack here, what I would try to do is get to 20% equity as quickly as possible by paying into the principal as much as you can while the market rises in value. What you can do here is once you hit that 20% equity, you can refinance out. Let's say it happened 1 year after, refinance into a 29-year mortgage. That way you're not losing the time that you've already done. And then what you can do is you can take that payment that you were making towards the PMI and apply that to your principal on your new mortgage that's only 29 years. This will save you $47,401 over the life of the loan, and you'll pay it off 4 years and 4 months quicker. How does that sound? Now, the sixth tip is super obvious. Reduce your expenses so you can afford to pay more towards your principal. If you're paying high interest credit cards, you better pay that stuff off quickly so you can actually be paying towards something that is building you wealth for the future. That credit card is not going to build you wealth for the future. Your house will. Now, make sure you get those paid down so you have that power. Another thing you could do is if you go to lunch every day with your coworkers, skip a day every week and use that money that you saved and put that towards the principal on your mortgage. This will actually save you a lot of money over the life of the loan, and you'll be able to pay it off quicker. That's just another strategy. And then number 7, create more income. As you work at a job and the longer you're there, more than likely you're going to be getting raises. This is going to give you more income to put towards the principal of your mortgage, saving you interest in the long run, and you're paying it off quicker. And then just like me here on YouTube, this is my side hustle. I highly recommend you get one. This is more income that you'll have to the future, being able to pay off your mortgage quicker, saving that interest money in the long run. And then lastly, make yourself a budget. If you track yourself for a month, you'd be shocked at how much money you spend and where you can be saving money. This will save you a lot in interest just over the life of the loan, and then being able to take this money and put it towards your mortgage, you'll be saving a ton in interest over the life of the loan, as well as shortening that loan as well. But anyway, that about wraps it up for this video. If you do have your own tips, let us know in the comments below. I want to hear all about it down there. If you do like this type of content and you want to see more, get more tips, as well as see some real estate tours, make sure you subscribe to the channel, smash that bell notification so you don't miss a single video when I upload. But anyway, I really appreciate you guys stopping by, sticking around all the way to the end of the video. Next week, we'll be back out at Litchfield, built by Richmond American Homes, touring the final in that series. The model is going to be called Sarah. So make sure you come back next week for that. And then after that, I'm going to be going over a HELOC loan and how you can use that to purchase an investment property. That's an exciting video. I'm excited to share that information with you. But as always, we'll see you guys in the next one. Later.